So for all my mobile detailers or DIY auto enthusiasts that like to keep your vehicle clean, one of the first things you need is a vacuum, right? So if you're looking at starting up or you already are a mobile detailer, you probably already know that everybody recommends the Ridgid, I think it's like a 4-gallon, 5 horsepower vacuum. For a shop vac, something that small normally does not come with that much horsepower or whatever they claim. 5 is actually a pretty good amount for a 4-gallon, vacuum. You want something small, you want it portable, you want it durable as well, but you need the power. Usually to get 5 horsepower, you need something like a 12 or 16-gallon shop vac, which would get the job done, but then it just takes up so much space. I mean, it's 3 to 4 times bigger. So I've been using this. Just turn around here. I've been using the good old Ridgid 5 horsepower 4-gallon vac for about a year now. Excellent. It gets the job done. It's never really let me down. I do have some issues where the hose get kind of worn out and start kinking right there at the connection. This one isn't as bad because over time I just take it off, cut it, slide it back on, so then this piece that is weak and worn out is now further down or cut out entirely, and the stronger piece goes down. So I've had to do that a few times. So another option is the Vacmaster Beast. It is 5.5 horsepower, 5-gallon I believe, and it's kind of up in the air. It edges out the Ridgid just a little bit from what I can tell, but I was looking for another vacuum. Been using this for a year. I would hate to go out and be stuck on a job and my vacuum craps out on me. That, and I was just really tired of the hose and everything, and it looked like the Vacmaster was, even though it has a larger capacity, because of the shape, it just was a little bit smaller and easier for me to work with, and take it in and out of the vehicles that I'm working on and my own vehicle that I detail in, because every once in a while you do got to put the vacuum in there with you with some of the vehicles that I'm doing. In my search, I found something that kills both of those. I know a lot of people swear by the Ridgid, a lot of people swear by the Vacmaster, but I just so happen to be trying to find somewhere to find the Vacmaster Beast local, and Northern Tool, I think that's really the only one that sells it in my area. But while I was at Lowe's picking something up, I found something that really caught me off guard. So let's go to that. So I know everybody swears by, the Ridgid or the Vacmaster. So while I was trying to find, a second vacuum, just so this isn't my primary, just in case it crapped out on me, I went to Lowe's and found this. And this is gonna put both of those in the trash can for me at least. This is the Craftsman XSP 5-gallon, 5.5 horsepower shop vac. Picked this up for 89 bucks. Look at it. This is essentially a clone of the Vacmaster Beast. I looked at pictures of both. I've held this up while I was looking at pictures of the Vacmaster Beast. It is identical. It is the same exact vacuum, down to the hose. I looked at the specs. The only difference in the specs, which is weird, they both have the same shipping weight, but for some reason the Craftsman XSP has a 20-foot power cord and the Vacmaster Beast has a 18-foot power cord. So for 90 bucks, I picked up a clone of the Vacmaster Beast. It's Craftsman. You can get it local. You can get your filters local. It has a 3-year warranty. And I tried it out the other day. It's kind of hard to show the difference in a vacuum cleaner, especially when it's this close. But what it came down to was it performed way better than Ridgid. And when I say way better, it's not necessarily all about suction power, but everything combined. So the first thing I noticed, I work off an inverter most of the time. It's a smaller version of a generator for those who don't know. And it has a low idle mode. So pull the string, starts up, and it ramps up a little bit, but then it settles down to a low, quiet idle until you're using it. Normally, plug the Ridgid in, turn it on, it ramps up a little bit. It goes from like a low hum, like a turn the vacuum on, turn it off, and then it goes back down to that low hum. I turned the Craftsman on, and the generator stuttered for a little bit. It kind of kicked up, and then it settled at an even higher idle while I was using that. It's like, wow, thing's pulling power. So I Googled it, and the Ridgid, I think, operates at 9 amps, and this is at 11. Craftsman's at 11. So that little difference, you can see in how much power is pulling from the inverter, but you can also see that little half horsepower, 2 amp difference in the power. So by all measurements online and then the specs and everything, CFM, they're really close. I think the Ridgid is 112 or 119 CFM for airflow, and the Craftsman is rated at 102. That's not what I observed. This Craftsman, this little XSP or whatever you want to call it, the Vacmaster clone, this little Vacmaster clone really shines. It really shines. I had no problem getting deep dirt out or anything. My only concern at first, as you see, it has the orange hose on it. I wanted to use the attachments that came with the Ridgid. I guess it's like a car detailing kit. So it came with a couple of brushes and this crevice tool. And I really like that crevice tool because it's flexible, and I can get into some crazy places with that. The Vacmaster / Craftsman comes with some attachments where I think the Ridgid only came with a handful. You get much more, but this is the crevice tool that the Craftsman came with, and it's not that great, just hard, rigid, and it's still a little too big for what I can do with that. But I was able to clean up stuff, suck up things, pick up things that I normally would not be able to do with the Ridgid. So I tried to figure out a way to explain or show the difference in these two, and the only thing I could come up with was find a dirty floor mat. Probably one of the more minor things you'll deal with detailing, because this is fairly simple. I mean, you can shake that out and vacuum it. The bigger issues are, hard stain, hard dirt down in between seats, candy, gummy bears, stuff like that, and just items that you can't reach, so you want to use the vacuum to get it out of there. So we'll do like a little test with these two, see if we can show a difference. But not only does this thing have more capacity, which really doesn't matter, I'm not using this for days and weeks on end without dumping it, but it does have more capacity. It's a 5 gallon versus 4 gallon. And we'll put these side by side. And for one, the Craftsman is significantly lighter. 2, they're exactly the same height, but just the shapes, I feel like the Craftsman is a lot smaller. It's more narrow. It doesn't have this bend. So it's like, technically the Ridgid would be smaller if it didn't have all the extras. The Ridgid has wheels. That's good and bad. For me, I don't like the wheels because I need that to stay in place while I'm going around the car. And that's also why I have a long hose. But back to the hose. I was able to take the hose off of the Ridgid, the orange extension, and put it on the Craftsman. It worked perfect, so I didn't have to worry about trying to figure out how to get these attachments to fit on the larger hose of the Craftsman. And I can still keep that overall length of 20 feet. So I got 20 feet of hose, which is, cuts down on your suction a little bit, but it's super convenient. And I haven't had a problem with it yet. So let's try these two out, and let's see if we can show some type of difference here. Yeah, I'm not sure how scientific that is. I don't know how to really explain it, but Craftsman / Vacmaster has a slight edge. What I did was I just swapped the extension hose over because the original black hoses with both of these vacuums are both the same length. So to keep the length and suction and loss through the hose the same, I just swapped the orange piece from hose to hose, used the same attachments, plugged into the same exact outlet separately. So I would unplug one, plug the other one in. So one good thing about the Craftsman is it is actually quieter too, significantly. It makes a difference. I don't know if you can pick it up in the video. I don't know if you can pick me up in the video, but I don't know if you can tell in the video, but the Craftsman / Vacmaster is significantly quieter. Yeah, so it has a few benefits. It's smaller, it doesn't have wheels, which is a benefit for me, because like I said, I don't need that rolling into a car or down a hill or trying to keep it. That was one of the real annoying things about the Ridgid. I guess I could have took the wheels off, but it didn't stay put, and it's not like I'm dragging it around by the hose. You should never do that anyways, but it not having wheels is great. So I do like the fact that it has, you know, places for the hose to wrap around. It does have a dedicated cord reel, and these two little spots are perfect. I only really use 2 attachments. Every once in a while I will break out this bigger one, but those 2 spots, and then I would throw my little brush attachment in there. It's perfect. It's like really hard to get down in there, which means it's really hard for it to fall out. I mean, this just kind of has a little bucket on the end, which is okay, but you know, this is just more convenient. And actually, I'm probably gonna stop carrying this because I might have used that twice. It really doesn't work that well. This is just better packaging for me for mobile detailing. It's stronger, it's quieter, it's lighter, bigger, yet smaller somehow. And like I said, it's a Vacmaster Beast clone. Same exact machine. Different sticker, different color scheme, and I like the black and red, as you can tell. Big fan of black and red. So, this just so happened to work out really good. They both cleaned up this mat. Like, I really couldn't find anything super dirty. This is the mat out of our detailing vehicle. And then we have all season mats over that, so it's not like this got real dirty. I had to like rub this around in my yard trying to get it dirty. So nothing was really stuck in or you know, permanent. But I tried to show that I had to hold the mat in place when I was using the Craftsman because it kept pulling the mat up and sliding it around. But with Ridgid, not so much. And I was trying to demonstrate that by lifting the mat with just the crevice tool. Really wasn't that dramatic, but for the money, for the warranty, for the availability, and the peace of mind, and the extra half horsepower, which is somewhat noticeable, actually pretty much noticeable, and the extra amperage, this is the way to go. It's cheaper significantly than the, you know, Vacmaster if you're buying local. So this is 28% cheaper, a little bit more than that actually, than the $115 you spend at another tool for Vacmaster. I believe this was $94.99. But those go on sale as well. Those go on sale at Home Depot quite often because I think when I bought that, I bought it for $65 without the kit. With the kit, it ended up being something like $95. But now, just the Ridgid by itself is $95. This was right around, like I said, I'll put it down there. I believe it was $89 or $95 as well. But I definitely like this. This hose is, you know, somewhat elastic. It stretches. So we'll see if that's a good or bad thing. I do like the fact that it has this coupling. It doesn't look like it will ever compress on itself or collapse on itself. It's pretty sturdy. This is just, you know, cheap hard plastic. Has no elasticity built into it, so when it gets old, it starts to compress. Oh, well, yeah, that looks like that may compress, but it's just really hard to squeeze. So we'll see. But overall, If you don't have either one of these yet and you're trying to figure out which one to get, there's your winner. That's the winner. The XSP Craftsman 5-gallon, 5.5 horsepower. Nothing wrong with the Ridgid. Just this will be sitting here in the garage sucking up pieces of fiberglass and other crap that I'm not finishing around here. This is the way to go. That little half horsepower makes a big difference, especially when vacuuming is my time consumer. So the less I have to go over an area, the less I have to like dig stuff out manually, the faster the job, more money being made throughout the day. So this is the clear winner, the Vacmaster Beast clone. And then, like I said, we'll do a follow-up and test this little blower and see if that actually blows enough volume to do anything with other than move dust around. So appreciate you guys, and check back for the follow-up. Peace.